Hello, what's up people? It's your boy Evans Ongwae and welcome back to the channel. Today it's quite a fascinating day. It's quite an enlightening day, and I wanted to enlighten you on something. Personally, as you can see, I'm wearing Binance. I'm one of those guys who are into tech. I'm into crypto, and I'm looking forward to a better future, to a better Kenya, to a better nation. But as you can see, and as you can look for the looks of things, you might not predict that I've worked under these construction sites, these places where they are building the affordable houses. And what I want to tell you is what is going on the ground, or what people are speculating about what is affordable housing. They have a complete misunderstanding. The realities don't match actually. What is being said by these people who in power, the people who have been endorsed with these kind of projects and they are earning something from it, it is not the same as these people who are in the ground thinking that the government is providing these properties for them. So I've worked there, and Kenya doesn't have a lot of job opportunities, so these projects, they came as job opportunities. But I want you to understand that this is for a short period of time. So you got a job for a short period of time, but how about the long term? The houses, the people who are building the houses are not going to own the houses. The houses are priced so much expensive, and I'm going to give you my research. I wrote down the research and I'm going to share the insights with you. I want you to understand that the ownership of affordable housing in Kenya is currently caught between two worlds: the policy vision of empowering the urban poor and the market reality, which is on the ground, of a project driven by investors, the diaspora and the middle class. But the research into the truth on the ground reveals that while the government uses the language of social housing and affordable housing, the financial and legal structures of the Affordable Housing Program, AHP, favor those who already have capital. Who is actually buying? The demographic split. So I want you to understand this. Who is actually buying this affordable housing? The demographic split that most people are not going to talk about, and the people are afraid to talk about. The truth on the ground is that the AHP means Affordable Housing Program. The truth on the ground is that the AHP, Affordable Housing Program units, are being occupied by three distinct groups, with the intent of low-income earners being the smallest slice of the pie. The first slice is the investor class, the diaspora, and the high net worth. The government departments like the State Department of Diaspora Affairs explicitly market affordable housing units as high-yield investment opportunities. Do you understand? That is how they market them. High-end investment opportunities, high-yield investment opportunities. Out of who? Out of these poor people. These people with the smallest slice out of these houses. So, and in projects like the Park Road and Ngara, units were sold at subsidized prices, approximately 1.5 to 4 million, but are now being sublet by owners for up to 50,000 per month, which was supposed to be 34,000 per month initially. I want you to have that number in mind. Initially it was supposed to be around 30,000. Now it is 50,000 per month because of the owners. So this is triple the amount mortgage, the TPS payment, turning affordable housing into massive wealth transfer tool for investors rather than a shelter for the poor. And before actually I go into conspiracy, know that wealth transfer is being actually done right now. People are trying to invest because this is one of the greatest opportunities. It is a boom or a recession. Nobody knows, but people are gonna make money out of this, though. And so the second part is the civil servant elite. A significant portion of the units are ring-fenced for civil servants. For example, at Park Road, 40% of the units, 548 out of 1,370, were reserved for the government employees. These buyers access a fixed 4% interest rate mortgages, a privilege not extended to the general public or informal workers, who face higher rates or more stringent tenant purchase scheme. So, the lockdot, which is the smallest pie, the informal sector, the people who don't have the purchasing power, the people who don't have the money to invest, the people who don't have the money to buy the property, this is where they get fixated. The poorest Kenyans, casual laborers, the slum dwellers, remain mostly in rental sector. Even for a social housing unit priced at 840,000, a 10% deposit of 84,000 is required. For someone earning the minimum wage or working in the informal sector like Juakali, saving 84,000 Kenyan shillings while paying high rents it is satire and statistically impossible. The investment trap, the resale versus rental. The government recently introduced the regulation to curb flipping, which is called the reselling, selling of a house for a quick profit, under the Affordable Housing Registration 2024 and 2025. Resale restrictions. Owners cannot sell their units for 5 to 8 years without board approval. The rental loophole. Crucially, there is law barring owners from renting out their units. This is the smoking gun that proves that the units are becoming investor assets, because the purchase price is subsidized by the mandatory 1.5 housing levy paid by all workers. Wealthy buyers are essentially using public taxes to build private property portfolios. Do you understand? I want you to repeat this. The rental loophole. Crucially, there is no law barring owners from renting out their units. This is the smoking gun, because if there's no law that actually governs that no one should rent out their rental unit, those people with the money can actually buy it and rent it out, or with a higher or a rental. So this is the smoking gun that proves that the units are becoming investor assets. The people who have money will buy the units, the apartments, and rent it out to these poor people with a higher price, because there is no law that is governing that. Because the purchase price is subsidized by mandatory 1.5 housing levy paid by everyone in Kenya, by all workers. These wealthy buyers are essentially using these public taxes to build private rental portfolios. The financial barriers. The Boma Yangu reality. The digital platform Boma Yangu uses lottery system for allocation, but the truth is that your chances are determined by your wallet. I want you to understand that. Outright sales. Those with cash on hand, often the diaspora and the wealthy business owners and the investors, can buy units immediately, bypassing the wait times and interest costs of the tenant purchase scheme. Interest rates. While the target is 3% for social housing, the affordable and market categories reach 6 to 9%. When compared to the average Kenyan income, these monthly payments, 15 to 30,000, consume more than 50% of the low middle class salary, leading to high default risks. The property management trends. Institutional shifts prove the investor-heavy nature of the market. Property management firms like Nyumba Zetu have already integrated their software with Boma Yangu. Their marketing focuses on automated installment tracking and the ownership transfer services designed for landlords managing multiple units rather than families living in their first home. Conclusion is, who really owns affordable housing? Who really owns it? The data suggests that the investors and stable income professionals are the primary owners. The government's truth. They are building social housing like the Makuru project to replace slums. True. The market, true. The social units are small fraction. Social units are small fraction of the total pipeline. The bulk of the 1.5% housing levy is being used to build affordable housing and market units that are out of reach of the bottom 40%. The bottom 40% of the people in our society are paying their 1.5 levy on houses that they can never afford, that they will never afford, and that is how these investors are leveraging these people who are illiterate, who don't know what is really going on, who don't know what affordable housing is, who don't understand what mortgages are. So, but perfect for diaspora looking for 8 to 11% rental yield yearly. Ultimately, I want you to understand that the affordable housing project is currently real estate stimulus package funded by the public, but are largely owned by the upper class in the investors, while the people of Kenya in the informal sector continue to pay rent to the very people who bought the affordable houses. And I want to read from another source, because I did 2 researches, and I came up with actually, I don't know, I want you to tell me where the difference is. Based on my research, here is the ground truth about who is actually owning Kenya's affordable housing. The reality, I want to tell you about the reality and the promise. The performance gap. By March 2026, government figures indicate that 8,367 units had been completed since Ruto took office in September 2022, remaining well below the program's stated annual target was of 200,000 units. The Big Four agenda, the affordable housing, fell short of its target of delivering 500,000 units, with less than 10% of intended units being delivered by 2022. Who is actually benefiting from these affordable houses? First of all, the civil servant. This is the priority access. At the Park project, road project, 548 units were taken up by the civil servant housing. Civil servants are the people who work in the government scheme, because they are perimetered. The houses are perimetered. You should walk there. I have been there. I have worked there. I know what I'm saying. Leaving 225 for the public agencies and 597 for Bomayangu members. This shows civil servants getting 40% of the units at the first flagship project, more than the general public, and that should be a great concern if you are interested in what is really going on. Go and do your own research and come back and comment down below on what you think. The second is diaspora and investors, significant players. Diaspora and investors are the most significant players in this. Actually, in this scheme, I will call it a scheme. It is a scheme. The affordable housing segment has attracted growing interest from Kenya, and I'll tell you. I think I'll have to tell you. The reason why I actually did this research is because there's this investor I know from United States. I've been watching his content, and then he's been talking about how gold went up, but there are projects which you can actually invest with the small amount in Kenya, and you can earn an interest rate of 7% to 10%. Then I was interested which kind of project was he talking about. Then I came and did my research. Then I followed him and I saw the video he was making. It was affordable housing. Then I was baffled. Like, are the people of Kenya working to pay this 1.5% housing levy for investors to actually get hold of these subsidized houses for them to rent back to the general public at a higher price? Because this project, because there is no law that is curbing these investors from renting out their apartments, and if the investors are holding these projects before the general public gets a hold of them, then Isn't this a scheme made to take money and to actually exploit these informal people, these illiterate people who don't know what affordable housing really is and how this scheme is working? So, the affordable housing segment has attracted growing interest from Kenyans in the diaspora who continue to channel remittances into real estate as they seek professional managed investment opportunities. Many diaspora clients buy homes as investment properties, and the developers find high quality tenants within 4 to 6 weeks, so buyers can start earning from the investment. Knight Frank data shows a clear divergence in the residential sector, with investors becoming more selective and prioritizing quality development targeted at high net worth individuals and diaspora buyers. The third segment of the people who are actually benefiting from this are wealthy buyers dominating. In real estate, developers in Kenya are increasingly tilting their portfolios toward high-end residential projects, betting on resilient demand for wealthy buyers and the expatriates. Affordable housing can offer good returns for investors who are fine dealing with the tenant quality that goes with it. The low income exclusion data. Nearly 80% of Kenyans registered for affordable housing units have never made any contributions. Nearly 80% of Kenyans registered for affordable housing units have never made any contribution. More especially, over 816,780 registered users, 182 had a zero savings as May 2025, while only 46 members had contributed above 1 million. Only 1 in 559 adults saving at the Boma Yangu platform to own the affordable housing houses, and the majority of Kenyans planning to build instead of buying houses. Affordability reality. Units measuring 64 meters per square cost about 3.15 million, while the 3-bedroom units measuring 85 square meters cost about 4.25 million. Social housing units cater to households earning above Kenyan shillings 20,000 monthly, while affordable housing targets those earning between 20,000 and 149,000 Kenyan shillings. But there is the problem. Approximately 50,000 homes are developed annually, predominantly in the high-end market, leaving the deficit of 200,000 homes, particularly in the low-income segment. Concerns about transparency. Concerns have emerged regarding the government housing projects that claim to target low and middle income earners, but in reality seem to benefit private entities and individuals who are well off financially. 269 projects lack complete and verifiable land ownership documents and equivalent legal proof, accounting for approximately 68% of all the total projects. The verdict is, my analysis is correct. The evidence confirms confirms my assessment. The investors are winning. Diaspora buyers, the high income worth individuals, and civil servants with stable income are primarily beneficiaries. Middle income earners who can afford structured payments are buying, not the poorest Kenyans. Low income exclusion is real. 80% of registrants have zero savings, and only 8,367 units completed versus 200,000 annual target. Investment motive is clear. Developers openly market to investors for rental income. Diaspora buyers purchase of investment properties. The affordable housing is increasingly becoming investment property for the wealthy and stable income earners, while truly poor, the intended beneficiaries, remain locked out by cost, irregular incomes, and mortgage requirements. The numbers don't lie. I want you to think about this. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about this, and comment down below. Is this fair? Is the government of Kenya being fair with this affordable housing? Is this affordable housing fair? Because people are being taxed 1.5 housing levy, and they won't be able to actually get these properties. And these properties are owned by investors and civil servants who people work in the government. So I want you to comment down below and actually maybe enlighten me where I don't understand, maybe enlighten me where I'm not getting the points. And I'll create another video, a Kiswahili one, so that most people who don't actually understand English will get a glimpse of what I'm trying to say. Have a lovely day. Peace out. I love you all.